and welcome back to the 7-day breathwork challenge. I'm so happy that we've made it to day 5 today, and we're going to switch gears a little bit and go into focusing on more yogic breathing patterns. This challenge is really to give you an opportunity to not only tap into your own practice, but to learn what works for you, learn different styles, different traditions, and yeah. I'm super excited to share this with you. And today we're going to start with our Ujjayi breath. So this breath is primarily found in Ashtanga yoga. It can also be found in vinyasa. You can use it in anytime, any place. You can use it in your meditation, but those are primarily where they have been found, as it creates a lot of internal heat. This breath is also called the ocean breath. And you'll learn a little bit more why as we get into it. So be sure to find a comfortable seat. We're going to do things a little different. At the end, we're going to do a little flow to try to incorporate this breath work into the practice. So we'll start just by finding a comfortable seat. You can sit in a chair, sit on the ground, grab your props. We won't be here the whole time, so just make yourself comfortable. And we'll just begin to start by tuning into the breath. Allow yourself to get any wiggles out, maybe finding that neutral pelvic bowl. And just tap into what is already naturally occurring with our breath. Maybe you can feel the breath come in through the nose. And if it's been a long day, just release through the mouth and let it all go. And notice what you can hear. Notice the breath and where you can hear it. Maybe you can hear the breath coming in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Or maybe even hear it go in through the nose and out through the nose. And just tune in. Maybe you can feel the breath rise and fall within the body, filling up the whole body cavity. And now we're going to move into the Ujjayi breath. So this can be a little tricky, as we're going to constrict the throat just a little bit, but by focusing on our tongue placement. So I know before we were focusing on the tongue on the back of the 2 teeth, but this time we're going to take the sides of the tongue and then press them into our back molars. So pressing them up, and it kind of creates this space in your mouth where when you breathe in, it'll change the tone of your breath. So I know we've tuned into how the breath normally sounds. Now we're going to just play around and pressing the back of the sides of the tongue into those back molars. And breathe in and out. And maybe you can hear a sound that sounds familiar to the ocean and the waves. If you've ever been to the beach or listened to the sound of the ocean. And if you're having a tough time, just play with it. I feel like the majority of this constriction happens at the very top of the throat. And it will create a space between the top of your mouth and like the middle of your tongue. It'll be like an open hole there. That's where the breath is coming in and out. And we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. We'll just keep breathing together. Listening to the sound of our breath. And the one thing with this breath is that we are going to have the same length of inhales to exhales. We want to keep the breath smooth and consistent, similarly as we've been doing already. And take 3 more breaths. And you can release the throat, release the tongue. Maybe rock side to side or give yourself a little stretch. You're doing a great job. It might be a little difficult at first, but the more we practice, the more we tune in and understand really what's going on. And just come into this like a manner of play as you come into yourself and learn how you work, how your body works, what you can and can't do, so that you can come into alignment. A few things about this breath. It will stimulate our vagus nerve. All these breathwork practices will stimulate the vagus nerve and allow for the body to relax as we go from our sympathetic to our parasympathetic nervous system, which I think is really great, especially if you deal with anxiety or stress or trauma. These breathwork practices can really help ground you and bring you into the body and remind yourself that you are safe within it and within your breath. Now, we're going to shift gears a little bit and we're going to bring this breathwork into our practice. And then we'll end with a little bit of seated meditative breathwork. But we're going to start in our cozy seat, comfortable seat, finding where your neutral is from side to side, coming into center. And then once you find center, we're going to rock forwards and backwards, tilting the pelvic bowl till we find our neutral or center. Coming back into the breath. Begin to notice and become aware of the breath in the body. Now we're going to place the sides of our tongue into the back of our mouth, to the back teeth, to constrict the throat. And begin Ujjayi breath. Now on our inhale, we're going to bring our left hand to our left side. And inhale, right hand goes up as we take a side stretch with that Ujjayi breath. And as you exhale, we're going to shift to center and then place the right hand on the right side and inhale. Left hand goes up, taking a side stretch. And on our exhale, we'll come back to center. And inhale. Bring our left hand to our thigh or knee. And exhale, we're going to twist to the right. Find a nice spinal twist. And then we'll inhale back to center. And then exhale, go to find your twist on the other side. And we'll inhale back to center. And then we're going to come to find our tabletop pose. Being sure to stack our shoulders over our wrists, our hips over our knees to create a very grounded posture. Coming back to that Ujjayi breath. You can either put the toes on the ground or flatten them, up to you. But we're going to start with our cow pose. As we inhale, we're going to bring the heart through the chest, lift the hips up to the sky. Maybe the gaze lifts. And then we'll exhale and find cat pose. So begin to curl the spine up, pressing into the hands, creating a dome-like quality, lifting belly into the spine. Then we're going to inhale that Ujjayi breath and find cow again. Going slow, staying with the breath. And exhale, find cat pose. Inhale to find cow. And exhale for cat. One more time, inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. And we're going to shift our weight towards our heels as we come to find child's pose. And continue with the breath. we'll come back to tabletop. And then roll onto our hips to find our seated position once again. Coming back to our comfortable seat. Coming back to the Ujjayi breath. Take 3 more breaths in your own time. And you can open the eyes, release the breath, take in your surroundings. Allow the nervous system to regulate back to the world around you, back to the external. Thank you so much for joining me today for day 5. Tomorrow we'll continue with some yogic breathing, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. See you then.